Hello. So I am going to be sharing with you sprints. And this is something that I feel has provided me to be more productive. It's allowed me to be able to feel, in essence, that I'm able to balance my work and my home and feel like I still have momentum within my business. Sprints are something that I think it's the beginning of 2017, Liz and Bree did a Facebook Live on. But sprints were something that Bree had been talking to me for years about. I was intrigued. When I actually realized what they were, I realized that when I worked in corporate in manufacturing, this was something that the men that I worked with and women that I worked with in manufacturing used to produce products. Uh, and so that's basically what it is. It's helping you in a 2 week block. I even use it in month blocks as well. Look at what are the projects or products that you want to put out into the world, and what are the steps to do it. It's basically a time management, goal setting type of system, and it does take time to implement. So, what I suggest from the very start with this is that you decide what day of the week you are going to sit with your sprints. You're going to sit and plan out your week. You're going to sit and look at what projects maybe need to move a little bit up the chain, priorities, that sort of thing. Because I've implemented this process into my Sunday evenings. So every Sunday evening, I go and review my sprints. I go and prepare my calendar for the week. And it's really helped me get on a more consistent schedule. So, the first thing that I do recommend before you do any of this is time blocking. This is something that our fearless leader Liz had shared with me a while back, to sit and really look at where am I spending my time? How am I spending my time? Because as you grow with Sseko, you'll find that there's just so much more fun stuff to do. So, we all want to fit it all in, but that isn't possible. So, it's really important that you see where you're spending the time, where do you want to spend your time, and then create your schedules and your sprints and all of those things from that. So I created a sprint worksheet that basically explains this, and I'm going to walk everybody through a sprint. And then also, I do use Asana for my sprints as well, so I can show you how I set up sprints there. So basically, like I said, a sprint is a 2 week time frame. So what we would want to do is we're going to want to look and see, okay, I'm on February the 12th, so it's 2/12. 18 right now. And this sprint is going to run through the 26th. So 2, 26, 18. So, so that is basically when I'm going to review my sprint and see if there's anything else that I need to do. Now, here, if you need accountability or you want a partner, you can ask somebody to be your partner. Or if you're a mentor, you can most definitely maybe schedule your meetings around this where you kind of create accountability around sprints. A meetup to go over your sprint. Like I said, that's why I look at mine every Sunday night. Just some time where you're going to look and review how far have you come, where are you at. That's really important. So my next sprint meeting is going to be on the 25th. So 2/25/18. And my sprint campaign outlet. So this basically I've added in here because for many of us, we have different places that we go to sell Sseko or where, like kind of what the theme of it is. And so like the sprint campaign outlet for me is like, where am I showing up as a Sseko fellow? So if this would to be my team, I would put Union of Bravery, right? If it was to be for me for events, it could be home party events. All right. If it was for social media, I would put the platform that I spend the most time on. So I would put Facebook, right? And so basically, this is just like where are you showing up? It could be vendor events. It really just depends for you where you're showing up for over the 2 weeks. And to understand that, yes, you're going to show up a bunch of other places too, but this is really to hone in on like a very specific place. So I'm going to do mine on Valentine's Day since we're so close to that. All right. And so I'm going to be showing up for Valentine's Day as a Sseko fellow. And then here, this question here, the product or ask category. So this is kind of the end product, the end thing you want to receive from going to this sprint and finishing this sprint. This is the end product that you're hoping is going to happen. It is not the goal. So I want to really express that. What is the end product of the goal? What do you want to happen? So it could be you want new event bookings. It could be you want new followers. It could be you want affiliate sales. It could be you want new team members. But this is basically what is the outcome you hope to achieve from this event, project, whatever it might be, and what will you be asking your customer for specifically? So what is the end product of completing this sprint? So the end product that I hope happens from this sprint is I hope that I will have more, oh, I'm on the wrong line, more VIP group members. All right. That's my goal. All right. And so that's my product. That's my ask. I'm going to be asking people specifically at my Valentine's Day event. I am going to be asking that for specifically for more VIP group members because one of my big goals this year is to really build that part of my business. Okay. So that's that one. Now I usually skip this step. All right. I know I have it here, but I skip this one and then I go and ask myself why. So why is really important in pretty much every facet of your business. This might not necessarily be your specific why in this area. Sometimes it can, but basically, what is the reason why you want to achieve this outcome? Why do I want more VIP group members? What is the result of me achieving this? Making sure that I know like what will happen if I achieve this. And it could be new hostesses, new team members, reward status or career title, extending outside of my warm circle. So it's most definitely for me one of the big reasons why I'm doing this event in my hometown community is I want more women in my community aware of Sseko. All right. I also, for me, one of the main reasons is I want to have more Sseko custom appointments in 2018. So I would write a list of all the reasons why I want this. I want more random contacts for purchases, affiliate sales. I want more team members focusing on styling. All right. So these are all my reasons why. I always find the reasons why can definitely help you when you're in the middle of working on this project and not really like feeling like you want to do it anymore. Um, I also like one of my goals why is I want to create a beautiful environment for the women in my community. All right, so these are all my reasons why I'm doing this. The method and the how is really what you go to next. Okay, so what are the specific steps you will need to take to achieve your goal? Why? To get to the product ask. So, what are the things that I need to do to achieve this to get to this? Okay, so first things first, I'm going to need to create an invitation. Make my invite list. Decide what products I'm showcasing. Let's see. Create post for invite. Like it's kind of one of those things where you have to keep thinking, like, what are the other things you need? Pinterest, fun, Valentine or Galentine ideas, foods and decorations. Decide on how I'll set up style tables. And I would just keep going on, contact venue to book for event. So I would just keep going down through and writing all the things. Check in for RSVPs. Create Valentines with coupons, right? So I would just keep going down through and creating all these different steps, right? So once you have as many of the steps, and the one thing that's really nice to do this with someone that's your accountability partner is sometimes like I'll go down through and I'll make everything and then I'll reach out to one of my team members and be like, hey, can you help me brainstorm this a little bit, make sure I have everything I think I might need to complete this. All right. So from there, then I'm going to go here and this is your measurable, this is your metric amount. So just like in SMART goals, you need to have a measurable. It's basically just your way of gauging, like, hey, this is the measurable that did I reach what I wanted to reach. Okay. And so the metric and the measurable for me is I'm going to say I want 25 new VIP members in my group by the end of February. All right. And that just made me think of this. Have a call to action on how to join my VIP group, maybe on the Valentine's card, right? So just reminding myself like my end ask is really to get them into the VIP group. So then this next part here where it says now rate the sprint based on the Fibonacci sequence. So Fibonacci was a mathematician. I'm not going to get into the whole geekery of it really, but he basically studied how things multiply and basically what the momentum is built from things multiplying. And so basically what sprints are, and the reason that a lot of manufacturing companies use them specifically, and now it's moved into the business environment, is that basically what they do is they're not necessarily saying like we just want to create this end product, right? Like this is not our goal, is to just create this product. Our goal is really to make sure that we approach each of our steps because this is why we want to do it. All right. So the goal is really completing all the steps. The goal is not more VIP group members and it's not the measurable. That is just the outcome that we want to happen from it. The goal is really completing all the steps, which was a huge mind shift for me from feeling kind of let down. So just know like your mindset is really changing here by saying this is the actual goal for me to achieve. I need to finish all these steps. And what will come of that is these things, not necessarily this or this. That is just the hope and what we believe the momentum from doing these things will happen. All right. And so what we look at with the Fibonacci sequence is we want to rate this sprint because what obviously all of us have more than one project on our plate. So if this sprint is more difficult, do I want to have another difficult sprint during my 2-week time frame? Probably not. I would want to have a sprint that maybe I've done before, or I have a reoccurring sprint that is with my team, something where I'm touching base with them. Or I do Facebook Lives pretty regularly. So that's pretty easy for me to do. It's not a hard thing to add in to this. So your Fibonacci sequence is really, you want to rate it by 2, 3, 5, or 8 on the level of difficulty, effort. If you're learning something new, that's a little bit of a higher one. Is there time investment, money investment? Um, it's really, those things are really equating into probably the level of return or the momentum that's built. So setting up an event like this is a level 8. I firmly believe that this is something I've not done, an actual Galentine's Day event outside of my home at a separate venue. And so that is definitely a level 8. I would probably put in there just some of my normal things. I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel with pretty much anything else during those 2 weeks. And this sprint would probably take me more than a 2 week time frame. It would roll over into my next 2 week sprint. So I would probably write that most likely going to roll over into next 2 weeks. All right. But I know that I want to start it probably about a month in advance, right? If I'm doing something like that. Then I have my sprint backlog. So I would maybe put on there a share your story event. Maybe I would put, let's see, opportunity event. Get together with my team. Let's see, 10 ways, 10 days, right? So I would put anything that I know, like I'm not working on it right now, but I have ideas of things I want to do. Who has shiny object syndrome or squirrel syndrome? Anytime you think of an idea that you're like, oh, I want to do that, but you're in the middle of a sprint, you always want to add it to your sprint backlog. So this is how you do it with the worksheet, which I really recommend. That's where you start doing it. But then you can also create a sprint board on Asana. So this is my Asana. You can do boards or you can do lists. So this is like a list area. I like to do my sprints on boards. So basically all of the information that was like examples is in here, like explaining it, but I basically just add it in here. So I would put Valentine's Day event is the end product. I would put 25 new VIP members. And then I would do all the breakdown here. And what's nice is, so like create invite for Valentine's Day event. I can then go in here and schedule a task of telling me, Jenna, you need to have this done by this day. And I can assign it to me. I love Asana. I use it a lot. And I also like looking at it in this view because then I can also look at my reasons why, creating community for my hometown through Sseko. So like these are all right here in front of me. I can just look at them and I can also assign the date, the due date for me because I need that accountability as well. So that is sprints. I hope that this is helpful for you all with your time management on choosing what you want to work on for the time that you have. Like I said, I highly recommend doing Liz's suggestion of a time log first, which is every 15 minutes, writing down what you're doing so you can see what you are doing and how you can create a better schedule for yourself. And then I do recommend either doing sprints with an accountability partner or really being dedicated to every once a week looking over what you have on your plate. Thanks so much. I hope this was helpful. Let me know by messaging me in the comments.